This is The Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. Fellow countrymen, the hour is finally here. Today, the election has finally become a reality. And the choice before us is not a choice between a right and a wrong. It is a choice between two rights. Uhuru Kenyatta is right, and Raila Odinga Amolo is not wrong. And as Frederick Hegel taught us, political tragedies in the world are not caused by a conflict between a right and a wrong. They are caused by a conflict between two rights. Such a conflict is passionate, but it is also blind, more so in a situation where the strong are incompetent and the weak are reckless. And this is the state of the nation as we go for the August election. The government is politically incompetent and Raila is downright reckless. To make it worse, both are right.
In the meantime, the country is in a chronic state of self-denial. We do not want to admit that this election is a replay of 2007. That in 2007 we saw the violence coming, but instead of doing something, we buried our heads in self-denial. This is why we must borrow from the fall of Lebanon and the crisis in Cuba. The conflict in Lebanon began as a kitendawili joke driven by national blindness and self-denial. Because they thought the war was a joke, fathers told their children that it was going to end in a matter of days. But they waited in hotel rooms in Cyprus and Greece for 17 years for the war to end. The same happened in Cuba. During the 1960s, the Cuban refugees in Miami believed the conflict at home was a kitendawili joke. They believed they would return to Cuba in a matter of days. They lived in exile for 60 years. Countrymen, we are taking this election lightly. Like in 2007, we are in a state of national blindness as the incompetent fight the reckless.
Now, we must give you the story of two prostitutes, a baby, and a sword. This story is recorded in the Holy Bible. It is about two prostitutes who were housemates. In good time, they both got pregnant and delivered at the same time. But one of the prostitutes lay on her baby and killed him. Then she exchanged him with the living one as the mother of the living baby slept. In the morning, the two prostitutes fought for the living baby, and to resolve their fight, they went to King Solomon. When Solomon listened to their stories, he ordered that the baby be cut into two. This way, each mother would take half a baby home. The real mother screamed in total disbelief at the thought, but the other prostitute agreed with Solomon for the baby to be cut into two. She declared that none of them should have the baby. It was in this way that Solomon was able to determine the real mother. This election is like a contest between the two biblical prostitutes. One of them wants a country split into two, and the other one screams at the thought.
But how shall we know the fake mother in this story of Solomon? The answer to this question is simple. The mother who lies is the fake mother. The mother who kills the baby so that no one can have it is the fake mother. The mother who lies to become president is fake. And the mother who kills country so that no one inherits it is the fake mother. If this is true, then we must ask two questions. One, between Uhuru and Raila, who has 10 million votes? Who is lying that the baby is his? And 10 million votes is the evidence. This man is the evil prostitute. Two, between Uhuru and Raila, who will tell Solomon to split the country into two if the baby is not given to him? Who will burn country in order to become president? Who is the evil prostitute? We will give you a hint. The man who declares himself the people's president is the fake mother. More so, if he does it through a shady parallel tallying center, whose results show 10 million votes.
This election is a replay of 2007. In 2007, we knew that something was wrong, but we could not tell what exactly it was. The country was uneasy, but we did not know why. And like today, we decided to sweep the nagging feeling under the carpet. Families went away for Christmas holiday, but on 1st of January 2008, they could not travel back home. The country was in a state of war, and no one expected this to happen. Yet all the signs were obvious, but we ignored them. Today the drums of war are beating. Raila has a tallying center ready to declare him the winner. And he has already told us that he is winning by 10 million votes. If IEBC declares him the loser, he told us that he will not go to court. He'll go directly to the people. And if the people decide that he is a winner, they will also declare him the people's president. And maybe they will even swear him in. And if he tried to do so in 2007, why will he not try it again this time round? What is my point here? As we get into campaign mode today, we must remember the following, that the country is not in a good place. We do not know where we are going, but we are going there very first.
And now a story for President Uhuru Kenyatta. Once upon a time, there were two unemployed cousins. One was Pablo and the other Bruno. Their job was to fill the village tank with water using buckets. They worked as bucket carriers for years. One day, Pablo got annoyed. He decided to build a pipeline from the river to the tank. Everybody laughed at him, but Pablo never gave up. In the process, he abandoned half his salary and his wife even ran away. But Pablo continued building the pipeline. And then finally, the pipeline was completed and the village gathered to watch the dream unfold. As the water gushed into the village tank through the pipes, his cousin Bruno, carrying buckets, stood on the sidewalk. Bruno and the rest of the village finally understood what Pablo was doing. In sum, this is the Uhuru story. We have laughed at his development mumbles, but soon we will confirm that he is the pipe builder. On his part, however, Raila is just a bucket carrier. And this is why some call him the Lord of Poverty.
If Uhuru is a pipe builder and Raila is a bucket carrier, what happens if Raila becomes president? Shall we become a nation of bucket carriers led by a Lord of Poverty? What will happen to the SGR? Will Raila uproot it because he claims it was built using corruption money? What about the roads, the laptop project, and the electricity in villages? Will he declare them corrupt, ban the laptops, and close the road? And if he does so, what will he replace them with? The Unga Revolution? The reason why they call Raila a Lord of Poverty is because his negative agenda against country is clearer than his vision for country. His political ideology is about building principalities of poverty and not communities of prosperity. If Raila's plan, therefore, is to force a grand coalition through unrest, he will use the principalities of poverty to do so. And this is what the country is blind to. The principalities of poverty will decide whether Raila is declared president or not. More so if he goes to the public to seek a verdict whether the election was fair or stolen.